You are a farmer, and you must have heard a lot of people talk about the decline in food prices. And we're entering the Yuletide season where markets will be busy. People will be trooping out to the market to buy foodstuffs, and now the prices are falling. Help us understand. Is this a product of the policy reforms of Mr. President, or what do you think, or increase by your farmers in the food supply chain?
I think if you look at if I look at some of the policies of the federal government under this administration, some need to be queried, because it's not about additional policies, it's about what you do so that it can be assessed by the major stakeholders. That is, how would they interpret these policies? You don't force down policies on people, rather you give it time to grow. I'll give you an example. When the subsidy was removed, a lot of Nigerians, especially his opponents that came along, queried, or rather raised eyebrows that it's wrong timing, that you don't just start it, you don't just remove subsidy. So the same thing is happening in the agric space. Recently, there was the issue about importation of food items, to cushion the effect of food prices and all that. Look, Eshomomo, I will tell you this for free, that in agriculture, especially in Nigeria today, we have enough food to feed the nation. The problem is that the cost of farming inputs, or rather farm inputs like fertilizer, pesticide and all that, is on the high side. So farmers, they have no option but to bring out some of this product to sell at a very cheaper prices. In the long run, what will happen is, going into the new year, you may find out that the prices must definitely go up again. But if you sell out of stock, what do? You still go back to buy more. So the farmer that is selling his produce now is desperate to raise money to meet other basic needs. Okay. It's too early for us to celebrate the fact that, yes, food prices are crashing. You are in Nigeria. Between January and June, you know what happened. The food prices went up because the produce had not yet out in some parts of the country. So, but what we keep saying to the federal government is, it's not about importation, to, cushion the effect. It's about looking at what we have, because you need to tackle the case of banditry first. You need to tackle the case of haulage, because moving goods from point A to B is usually expensive. So cumulatively, people, I want you to take a drive, maybe do some research, independent research, to find out whether this thing is true or not. People have been forced to move these produce to the market. I'll give you an example. If you go to places like the Northeast, where the incidences of this insecurity are high, you find out that very few farmers go to the farm. Go to Zamfara today, you find out the bandits are taking over the farmlands.
So if I get you right,
yes,
the food supply and the productivity of the farmers have increased.
It has increased, but majorly the point is that they are desperate to sell this produce.
So you will need policies now that will help to cushion, or the link between what they produce and the next season of harvest.
Yes.
You will need policies that can help manage what the farmers get.
I don't want to be using the words policies.
Okay.
Because the federal government, I know they have sat down severally to look at areas they can improve so that food prices, will be affordable for the Nigerians. Right?
Yeah.
That's been happening. But at our level, that is why in our association, we deliberated more on this. Between July, when we had these issues, court cases here and there, when we were given the relief to go fully discussing with agriculture with our farmers across board, in all local governments of the Federation, it is an agreement that, look, it is time for us to partner with the private sector, partner with the federal government, so that every stakeholder involved will come up with solutions. And we're beginning to see the light of day. So there's a disconnect between the federal government, the farmers, and the implementers of these policies. So until the real farmers are involved, this temporary relief you are seeing in terms of food prices crashing, it will spiral in January. And the year is just close by. You see that happen.
So largely this reduction in price is more because of importation to cushion the pain.
One is more of importation. Two, farmers are desperate to sell their produce. Three, as it stands now, people are trading in losses, I can tell you, and that will lead to inflation again. So that is why all we are saying is that let us come back to the drawing board. You need to sit down with the farmers. Listen to them, because we don't have an interface. Who is speaking for the farmers? And that is why at our level it's okay. Let us generate information from across board. Every stakeholder must be involved. Let us find a permanent solution to this. Have you forgotten that Mr. President traveled the way to Brazil to seek for loans for about $1.something billion for farmers? I think the Niger State governor confessed to that, or rather testified to that, a loan of $1 billion was gotten for the Niger State government and all that. So it's not about loan. It's about providing technical support for the farmers. We must go full-scale mechanization.
Okay, we'll
improve seedlings and all that.
Okay, we'll come back to